Good morning, welcome to TERRA at Home. I'm here with Laura Bittner from TERRA, and we're at that time of year where, well, we could possibly have had some frost. It's that kind of year, right? Where you kind of are crossing over. We have to talk about some of the plants that you bring from the outdoors inside, and how that can be a little bit stressful for them.
Yes.
Can it?
It definitely can. So through the summer, if you're like me, maybe you picked up some hibiscus or an oleander tree or any tropical plant basically that can't survive outside for the winter. We're going to bring them inside.
Yeah,
so
they're not going to like it at all at this point.
No, because with light levels go down when we bring them from outside to inside. Humidity levels go down. True. Watering can change. These plants are used to being babied pretty much with water and fertilizer throughout the summer. Yeah, perfect growing conditions.
Sure, okay, makes sense.
So then when we move them inside, they kind of almost go into shock.
Sure.
It can be a bit shockful, as you can imagine.
Like, can I go south?
And not in a good way. Yeah, exactly. So there are some things that you can watch for when you're transitioning your plants inside.
Okay.
Of course, wilting. Wilting is a good sign that maybe you're not watering it enough where it is. Browning. Browning is a sign of a few things, but most notably it would be just light levels, plain old light levels. So to experience a little bit of browning in your plants, a little bit of leaf drop is actually quite normal when you're transitioning from outside to in. So try not to worry too much. Of course, you want to cut back on your watering and your fertilizing because we almost, like, it's kind of a period of rest for the plants.
Okay.
So we're going to cut back on that. Now, when we bring them in, we want to mimic their outside light level as best as possible inside.
So you're trying to get it somewhere near one of your brighter parts of your house, near a window and...
Right, but again, depending. So if for example, I have a hanging wandering Jew at my house. Out in the outside, it is in probably a 2 to 3 hour morning sun, and then shade throughout the rest of the day.
Sure.
So I don't want to bring it in and put it in a window where it's going to get blazing hot sun all day long.
Right.
So I'll put that one kind of in an easier spot, and I'll save the sunny spots for things like my cactus and that kind of thing.
That are just needing, like, praying for that sunshine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So leaf color change, leaf drop is very natural thing. Keep an eye on them, baby them through. They'll need a little bit of time to transition. Yeah,
and I guess it's a transition for you too, because you're trying to adjust to how to take care of it again, right?
Yeah, exactly, for sure.
And so, obviously you say it needs its water, but you don't want to overwater. Sometimes it's easy to overwater your house plants too, right? Because they're not exposed to winds that are drying it out as much.
Right. So if you even just take your baby finger and put it in up to your knuckle, that's where you want to feel a dryness too, because we definitely don't want to be overwatering. So if you put your knuckle in, and at that tip, you feel a bit of moisture. Perfect. That's perfect conditions for your plants.
But if you already have plants inside your house,
oh yes, good point.
So we have those ones that are inside the house.
Yeah. So those you'll just take care of by again reducing watering, reducing fertilizing, but bugs. Thank you for bringing that up, because sometimes plants that are outside, the plant can have bugs on it. You bring it inside, and then everything gets infested. Yeah,
and I've heard people talk about that, and that's just...
It's dangerous.
You're like, what? Everything's dead.
Yeah. So bringing it in and giving it a good watch, a good look over, and even keeping it in isolation for a week or two to see if you're finding anything jumping off or anything like that. So it's a really good idea to isolate it and watch for pests. Even just a simple run down with the hose or put it in the shower, get the bugs off, anything like that. It could be spider mites, spider mites, mealybug, whitefly. Those are all little pests that can come in and just kind of wreak havoc throughout your...
Yeah, so lots to consider this time of year.
Yes.
Or you could just have some really hardy indoor plants. These guys are awesome. So I love how, what do we call these again?
These are plants of steel. So basically, these plants can withstand low light levels and a fair amount of neglect.
I was just mentioning that I pretty much neglect this guy. I bought one here, and he has grown like no tomorrow. He is just, every time I look, I'm like, oh, I forgot to water you, and it just keeps going. It's amazing.
Yes, and this is the ZZ plant.
Actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's growing so well.
Very little care, very little anything to it. Agglomera, again, another one, nice leafy plant. Really, you don't have to do much to it. And here we go with the sago palm. So you can get different leaf textures, different colors in your leaf texture. We're not getting flower.
Right.
But, hey.
But at least you have, again, plant life in your house. Makes you feel good and it's easy.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Sago palm is another, and then one that is always a favorite is the mother-in-law's tongue. Sansevieria. And that one is another one where you can really just forget it's there, and all of a sudden 3 weeks later you're like, oh goodness,
yes,
you need some water.
So there you go. So that's easy though. Now something I also love, and I've loved since I've been watching you guys put these together here at TERRA, is terrariums. And I mean, again, you can add color. They add so much interest, and you can buy them just like this. You put them together for people, and easy.
So we have all these different terrariums, or gardens and glasses is another name for them, and they're just so much fun because they're so different. And I mean, back in the 60s, if you think of those kind of big barrels of terrariums where the plants just grow inside with a little bit of maintenance, but not much. So these do require some watering, but you really don't water it too much because it is in the glass enclosure. It really does create its own little greenhouse in here. So it gets humidity and kind of keeps heat in there. It's amazing how much heat is kept in here.
So what are you using as on the basis of soil? Is it soil?
Yes.
Okay.
So we fill up with a bit of soil, and then we just kind of tease the roots of each plant that's going in, put those in, and in some cases we use moss.
You do some
and
mosses in there.
We've got some stone around here. So low maintenance plants, and actually are very good for cleaning the air as well in your home. So that's more of the leafy ones and benefit of the leafy ones. But this one, I love this one.
Yeah, I love this one too.
The succulent one.
So
cool.
It's
very different, very, I don't know, kind of, we're spacious.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
So again, very little watering. These succulents, they hold so much water that
you can feel it in them.
Yeah,
they're holding water
and that is a good indication, actually, as if it needs to be watered.
Okay.
If it's nice and firm, you're good.
Okay.
If you see it at all wilting, definitely give it a water then, because they shouldn't have to wilt.
So basically, you can buy these containers empty on their own and come in here and put them all together, right?
Yeah,
yourself. You can buy all the plants, or it's where you guys can do something for
yes.
easier. You can just come
a
and
little
buy
bit
this
easier.
one.
Yeah, exactly. So we sell them apart and ready-made, and
all different shapes and sizes.
You got it. Different shapes and sizes and price points, and a whole lot of fun.
Well, Laura, thanks for all the good information. Again, it's really just great to be able to have access. Again, of course, you have to bring that plant life from outside indoors this time of year if you want it to continue to grow, or it's a goner.
Yeah, for sure.
We know it because we're about to enter 6 months of winter, pretty much. And then, of course, you've got your plants of steel. You've got all these other ones that you can add. Again, that feeling of outdoors, indoors.
Yeah, and with the windows closed throughout the winter, to bring in some plants that will help clean the air and give you some freshness, it's a really good idea.
Okay, well, some good information. I love it. I want to buy all of them. Thank you. Good stuff. I like low maintenance. That's it for now. We'll be back with more TERRA Home.
TERRA, where color lives.
Heritage perennials. Look for us in the blue pots.
Good Good morning. Welcome back to TERRA at Home. We're at McMaster Children's Hospital this morning, and I'm here with Parker Neal, and you're the Development Officer for McMaster Children's Foundation, and back with Ashley McCommett, and of course you are a race car driver. We love to come on the show and sort of catch up with you now. We're talking about this particular piece of equipment because way back when, and back in spring, we had you on the show, and we were talking about the initiative that you had, and we kind of want to sort of update everybody because it was achieved.
It was, yes. We raised all the money with the Racing for Toonies. We're very happy and thankful for everybody that helped out with that. And we made our goal and we got our equipment for the hospital and we're very happy about it.
It's amazing. So let's remind everybody how this all came to be because you had a personal interest in this and then sort of where we went with it.
Yeah, I grew up in Ancaster and I have a little boy and I wanted to find a way to give back to the community. So we decided to raise money for the Children's Hospital. So this is the second time that we had done it. Yep. This year we decided to raise $10,000 to buy this piece of equipment, and along with my Beta Sigma Phi sisters, we canvassed outside Fortino's and collected toonies and raised just over $10,000. So
isn't that amazing though? Because I mean, when people sometimes look at that initiative, right, say, well, toonies, I mean, but really when you say it as a cliche, but it really does add up. And we know that firsthand, right, Parker? When you see people raising money for McMaster Children's Hospital every day, and it's from, little school groups, dance studios, to some big guys, and every single penny does actually count.
Yes, of course.
Right. So you were able to achieve $10,000 to buy this piece of equipment.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So Parker, I'm going to ask you a little bit about this and sort of what you can provide the background on this and what it does for the hospital and what it means to you guys.
For sure. And not that I'm a medical expert, but
right.
I do know that the Glide Scope is a specific piece of equipment for children that helps with creating the proper airway needed by children, which is obviously crucial.
And this is something specific to children because obviously you have equipment for adults and it has been used on children and that's the way it had to be, but now this is specific for children, so it makes it that much easier and easier for everybody here at the hospital and easy for the children as well.
Yeah, easy to use, the right size, and from what we've been told, it's just so simple to put the scope into the child's, here I'll even hold it up so you can see.
Sure.
Put the scope into the child's mouth to open up the breathing channel. That it just, new technology is so important for us.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the thing. Again, it's all about when we talk about this type of technology, everything counts, and it's amazing how much medical equipment really does cost, right? It's and money doesn't just fall from the sky. So really, it's all about the community coming together and every initiative, just like Ashley's, to buy something like this. That's so important because this is probably a piece of equipment that's used quite frequently, I would imagine.
For sure, yeah, and we make do with what we do have, but when you do get a chance to really grab a hold of a new piece of technology and community comes together to support you in this way, I mean, if it's helping save lives, that's the most important thing.
Right, exactly. And again, we talk about what McMaster Children's Hospital does for the community, and every time that we get an opportunity to promote the hospital, and we really see it. Sometimes, if you haven't been personally touched by it, it's easy to forget how important this place is for families, right? Because some children are here for a very long period of time.
Yeah, we see some children, overall we see about 150,000 children a year, and some of those are spread across multiple appointments, some of them come once a year, but we find it so amazing when we hold events in the community and we hold campaigns like this, and people are touched that haven't experienced the care, or we hold, say, a golf tournament or something along those lines, and people support the families that have received the care as if they have gone through the journey themselves.
That's right. That's the thing. I think a lot of us do know somebody that has been affected. Somebody's staying at Ronald MacDonald House, which of course is amazing at this point, the whole new development with that, and the money that was needed to raise for Ronald MacDonald House itself for that building is unbelievable. And again, that's all tied in part and parcel with McMaster Children's Hospital, right?
Exactly.
So you need the place for them. Actually, my cousin, was coming down from the Sioux. She was having to use that facility, and it just goes to show you how important this whole operation is for families locally. Now, let's talk a little bit about the area that you serve. Some people aren't sure. It's obviously not just Hamilton. So give us a background.
It's what we call South Central Ontario.
Okay.
So it's right through Kitchener-Waterloo, Guelph. We split Oakville with Sick Children's in Toronto, but we go all the way through Niagara, right down to the border, right down to Fort Erie. So there are about 2.3 million people in that region and about 600,000 children.
Wow. And then again, of course, specific cases that come through from wherever, right? So that's the amazing part. The numbers are staggering. So Ashley, obviously you, again, having a little one, just as myself, again, we all do. You really notice the difference in again, how important it is, because we all know that it could easily happen to any of us.
Exactly. It's not somewhere you want to have to go, but it's awesome that it's so close and it's there if we need it.
Now, you said this is the second time that you've taken something like this project, and to help. Do you have any goals, any ideas what you plan for the next time around?
Oh, we'll be back again this spring again. We haven't decided on a goal, but we're going to talk to the hospital and see what they need and see what we think we can do.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing, right? You have to have a discussion with the hospital, and obviously you're keeping your focus here, which is nice. And really, what's necessary? What's the next step? What is needed?
Exactly. We want to help out and see what they need, not what we want to purchase them.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Balloons for everybody.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, that's nice. But okay, so let's talk a little bit about you as well, because obviously you're still out doing your thing, and that again ties in, with your initiatives and your being so publicly involved. And how are you doing personally?
Great racing.
Your career.
The season went well. We are starting again in January, which will be another busy year. We go from January till October racing, and doing this within that is very time consuming, but I love to help out and give back whenever I can, so
And
we'll
having
make it work.
a little person to take care of as well, right?
Yeah, that too. He's getting bigger, so it's getting a little
It
easier.
helps, doesn't
but
it? Yeah, a little more independent. For people who are just sort of tuning in and don't know as much background, tell us a little bit about your racing and what you do, what kind of racing it is.
I race in the Grand Am Continental Sports Car Challenge. I race the Chevy Camaro 2010 with the CKS Autosport team. This will be my 4th season in that car coming up, and I've been racing since I was 8. So
yeah, that's the crazy part, is that you got involved. I mean, a lot of times it's family influence, right? And so just yourself, and so getting in and starting off. What did you start off on again? As a
go-karts.
Go-karts,
Yes.
great, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and to look where you've come now. So,
Yeah,
how
it's been a
long do you
long trip.
plan to do this?
As
do you
long
think?
as I can. It's big on sponsors, and the community helps out a lot with me, but to go any farther you need large sponsors, and we're just trying to acquire that at this time. So
yeah, sponsorships are definitely important, and again, obviously with you're having to again work with a team, so you have a whole team unit. So keeping that team intact and doing what you need to do.
It's a big project.
It's a big project, isn't it?
Yes, we have at each race there's 2 cars, 13 crewmen, 4 drivers. It's busy. It's a lot of work, but we love it. So.
Yeah, you're sort of the front focal person, but again, you've got all these people in behind that make it all happen.
Exactly.
With you.
Couldn't do it without them.
Yeah, kind of like here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you again so much for both of you and letting us come into the hospital as well, Parker. And it's so exciting to have something like this. And Ashley, good job for doing this. You and your team and all of your friends. This is actually very cool. So we'll catch up with you next year, and hopefully we can be back here again for a new piece of equipment. Thanks, Parker. Thanks, Ashley. All right, more TERRA at Home after this.
TERRA, where color lives.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
Good morning. Welcome back to TERRA at Home. We're in the TERRA kitchen, and we have a special guest with us here today, Executive Chef Nina Ruelens from Copetown Woods Golf Course. So we stole you away from the golf course just to come on and do a couple segments with us. So
happy to.
Thanks. It's really kind of fun. So we should talk a little bit about Copetown Woods and sort of your style of cooking and what sort of food influences you have there.
Sure. Copetown Woods. We're out in the country. Our owner is a broccoli farmer, so we really do try to keep things fresh and local as much as we can. It's also a country cooking sort of themed menu, so everything's very hearty and nice, warm, sort of inviting dishes. You know, chicken pot pies and quiche and some other things as well. But of course, our broccoli dishes as well. So
right. And people can actually drop by and come for lunch or dinner without even having played around
Absolutely.
the golf.
We're open 11 months of the year. We close down just for January, but right up until Christmas. So lots of Christmas parties going on and a full service restaurant even when there's not any golf going on. So yeah.
Right, and I've been there for quite a few events, so that's when things must really change when you have a full event, and timing of food is so essential. I always find that
it gets full there for sure with a restaurant going on with functions and stuff.
Right.
It's a busy place in the summer for sure.
Bet.
It's fun.
Keeps you going, right?
It's good.
Keeps you going. Okay, so we're gonna take it down a notch and simplify it here today for you, and we're making a broccoli salad. So that was one thing that people know. If you go to Copetown Woods, you can always find yourself a broccoli salad on the menu, and that's and it's so good for you, and you somehow managed to make it even taste better.
So broccoli, of course, being our staple item on our menu, we've kind of been playing around with broccoli a little bit in the last little while.
What can we do with it?
It's true, trying to keep it fresh and interesting. So we've had a broccoli salad on our menu for years now, and that's our staple, our classic, our Copetown classic broccoli salad, which we will continue to keep on our menu. But
before people panic and complain.
I know we didn't want to, you know, get crazy or anything.
Yeah.
So all we've done is we've added another broccoli salad to our menu, and it's called our New Bee broccoli salad. So it's not our usual broccoli salad abbreviated, and so it's a little bit lighter. It's a vinaigrette dressing. So taking that we've been doing, I've actually just taken it a step further here today, just to show you that you can just take a very simple recipe and just kind of add to it and do something a little bit different, keep it in season. So that new salad we have is done with sunflower seeds. This one today we're doing with pumpkin seeds, just you know, being around Thanksgiving. Exactly. So it really is just as simple as that. So
okay, I love it. So again, with your let's just talk about the broccoli first and foremost.
Sure.
Obviously, washing it beforehand.
Yep.
Do you need to make sure it's thoroughly dry before you're making the salad?
You do, especially, I mean, our other one is a cream-based dressing we use, so we're always making sure for sure that it's dry, because, I mean, you're just adding water to it, right, and watering it down. So, yeah, we soak it in some salt water first, and then just to kind of get rid of anything that might have been on there so it can fall off. And then, we dry it, chop it up, and, I mean, this is coming in fresh in our back door right from the farm.
Isn't that cool?
So,
I love that. I love it. And keeping it quite small. No one really needs to be, with a salad, you're not supposed to have to cut it, right?
Exactly,
so
exactly.
Nice little bites.
And we definitely put the tops in there, and we add a couple, not too far down the stem, but we add a little bit of the stem in there just to give it a little bit more texture. And
right, because it is a different part of the crunch than using the actual top of the flower head.
And it's just being important to keep those bits that are going to be the stem bits a little bit smaller.
Yeah, okay. Just you're not chunking
Yeah, nobody wants a really big piece of stem in there. So,
okay, all right. So why don't we talk about now the actual dressing?
So I have already mixed this dressing, but what's in there, it's really simple. But what I have done with this dressing, a typical vinaigrette is going to be a 2-to-1 ratio, your oil and your vinegar, but I've done a 1-to-1. So it's equal parts apple cider vinegar and olive oil or sunflower or some kind of oil of your choice. And then I've added honey, and that's why I do more of the acidic, because I'm adding the honey to it as well, salt and pepper, and that's it.
So just a little bit of honey, not too much.
Yeah, not much at all. Couple, maybe for this portion here, maybe a tablespoon and a half or so.
Okay. Yeah. Now, did you have to like emulsify that or anything, or you just mix it up?
We use a hand blender for sure, get it nice and, but you don't have to. I mean, for smaller portions like this, I mean, just whisk it all together, toss it on your you're tossing it to order. So
great. All right. So other ingredients. Again, we were talking about the fact that you're adding pumpkin seeds and trying to make it seasonal, but of course cranberries.
So this is in our both of our broccoli salads that we do at the restaurant right now. The red onions and cranberries are a staple of both of our salads. So I'm just taking our regular salad and just kind of adding to it. So we're going to add toasted almonds and pumpkin seeds, and I really stress it's so important to toast the almonds.
Yes.
It makes such a difference.
It really does. Visually and taste.
Just taste. It's so much nicer.
It's funny how so many people don't do that, but it is, when you look at a blanched almond that's just sitting there all white.
Yeah.
Not very
so
good.
important to toast them properly, not too long. It is kind of
Are you dry toasting them then? Just
a little bit of oil into the oven. That's how I do it. I mean, for smaller ones, if you wanted to do over the stovetop, you definitely can, but we put it on a baking tray, a little bit of oil into the oven, and roasting it nice and slow.
In the pumpkin seeds as well?
Yep.
Right. Okay, good. So that makes it straightforward and easy.
Yeah.
So basically, you were just compiling all of this. Is there any sit time, or is it get the dressing on and serve it?
What I will say about this salad is it doesn't hold well. It's maybe about a 24-hour window.
Okay.
But it does like to sit for maybe about an hour. So it is something you
Okay.
can toss together about an hour before your guests come. But anywhere, like the next day salad, it's good, but it doesn't really last maybe too late the next day.
It just starts to, I imagine the broccoli starts to get a little bit soggy, right?
It does. I mean, that's with any broccoli salad that we make. We're always
Sure.
making it fresh daily. So
And you want it to still have that crunch to it, right?
for sure, yeah, and it definitely gets soggy if any kind of dressing is sitting on it for too long.
One question I have for you too, because it's something I've always noticed with greens and certain vegetables like this. Sometimes broccoli can get kind of soft and sort of, what is your secret to kind of getting that crisp back to a vegetable?
Well, when it comes to us, it's on ice, and you'll probably see that in the stores as well.
Okay.
But Gord really stresses to us when we get it, it's coming on ice, and that we get it into the fridge right away, so that process is not lost, and so that it stays crisp. And
So it's always staying
it
like
really
that.
is just a matter of keeping it really cold.
So really, really cold. Because some people put in that cold water bath, right, to kind of give it that little shock of cold, but you're keeping it on ice all the time.
It's in the fridge on
in the
ice
fridge.
until the ice kind of melts, but we're going through it so quickly that
Yeah.
it doesn't have a chance to really.
I can't imagine how much heads of broccoli you're going through.
Lots.
Awesome. Okay, so do we want to mix this right now? And
Yeah,
get this?
absolutely.
Okay, let's
So
do
we're
that.
just going to really just toss everything in.
Okay. And again, good color too, right? And you're adding all the flavors of the season, simple dressing, and hopefully everyone at your party will enjoy this.
And adding more or less dressing that you
Right,
would
adjust
prefer,
to
right?
your
I mean, some
taste.
people like there's a little bit more dressed. Some people like it a little underdressed. So I like mine maybe a little on the heavier side of dressed. I like that nice acidic tang.
all right, well, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll just finish it up, and we'll talk about some other options for broccoli salad.
TERRA, where color lives.
Welcome back to TERRA at Home. We're back with Chef Nina from Copetown Woods, and so we were talking about, again, the origins, of course, of the broccoli salad and why it's such a big deal at Copetown Woods, because again, broccoli farmers and on a golf course, and a great place to have a party and a get-together. But of course, always have a broccoli salad on the menu. So we were talking about the fact that you have a creamy version. That's sort of your mainstay that you've had for 10 years. So what is the ingredients involved in that?
So the creamy definitely works on there as well, and I think that's why it has been on our menu for so long, and why we can't ever take it off. And we feature all the food shows and stuff we go to as well. But it's very simple as well. Like I said earlier, it has the cranberries and red onion in it, so we kind of keep that in all of them just to kind of switch it up a little bit. But it just has feta and then a cream-based dressing that we use, and that really is it. It doesn't really need much more because the feta is so, it's got that saltiness to it. It's creamy. It's got a lot going on with not a whole lot in it.
It's amazing though, because for some people who don't necessarily love broccoli, that salad can easily make them love broccoli.
Absolutely,
which
for
so
sure.
they know that's so good for them. That's one of the top things we could eat. So
nice way to sneak it in your diet for sure.
So again, this is a little bit of a lighter version and a nice crisp broccoli, and all what again, seasonal. I'm pulling, of course, broccoli. We can pretend it's seasonal all year.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So
well,
good.
it's on our menu all year round.
So why not? Right. Okay. So basically, if someone's getting, I could just eat this as a main meal.
Yeah, it just depends on how you're having it.
Right.
But we do have two versions on our menu. We have a large and we have a small. And our small one people get as an appetizer, and it's sufficient. But then people will get our large, and then they'll add chicken or salmon or something to it, because it does eat like a meal as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially our large one, it will fill you up.
Okay,
well,
so make me a portion there, Nina.
For
I'd be
sure.
happy to try it. And we should mention your website as well.
Sure, it's just copetownwoods.com.
Perfect. And again, you can find this recipe on our website. And again, this is our last day, actually, that you will be able to watch our show this early in the morning. As of next week, it's going to be airing at 11 o'clock, so that's really exciting, 11 a.m. And again, we thank you for sharing this recipe with us. This is good. So
Well, thank you so
everybody
much for
take
having
note
us.
of it.
Yeah, it was great.
And thank you for coming on the show.
Thank
We'll have
you.
you again. We'll have you back soon. All right, that's it for now.